gone and done it. Yes, I finally am going to make my comments kind of public on Diablo Immortal. Not like anybody really cares. I've got like a little piss ass channel, right? I am not a huge channel in the realm of things, but I am a huge Diablo player. I've been playing Diablo games since the PlayStation 1 era. Yeah, I'm that one guy that picked up the Diablo game for the PlayStation 1 and was hooked. I absolutely loved it. I was not a PC gamer back in the day. I could not afford a PC, so I did have a PlayStation, and I had Diablo, and my love affair with that franchise started right there and then. And I've been playing Diablo games forever. I've invested so much time pre and post getting married into Diablo. I just absolutely love the world. I love the story. I love the good versus evil. It's a clear definition of good versus evil. There's not a lot of gray, and I like that. And I'm just a huge fan of the game. I love action RPGs. So let's talk a little bit about Diablo Immortal. You saw the title of this video. It's pretty clear. It's like Diablo Immortal is an amazing game if you approach it with the right mindset. And I want to talk about that a little bit. I'm going to get into it. But first of all, what is Diablo Immortal for people who have no idea? It's a free-to-play, massively multiplayer action role-playing game that was created by NetEase. Yes, the evil NetEase. You know, for me, that's what this video is really about. Taking advantage of NetEase. Because, you know what? I am not a huge fan of that company, nor anyone should be. They probably got some really questionable labor practices over there. But hey, who am I to judge? I am going to judge. I'm not a fan of the company and Blizzard Entertainment. And Blizzard Entertainment really they're just the keeper of the lore, I think. They don't really do any development with this game, I don't believe. They're just there to make sure NetEase don't piss all over the IP. I think that's pretty much it. So, you know, basically, this game is set between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, and I love Diablo 3. You might want to piss all over me for saying I love Diablo 3, but I love Diablo 3. You know, post them fixing it, it's turned into a fantastic game. But it's set between that, you know, you have to just go out and, you know, destroy the hidden shards of the World Stone to prevent Skarn, the Lord of Damnation, from destroying the World of Sanctuary. Yes, you know, it's just awesome, simple storytelling. All right, so, you know, it came out this year in July. It came out on Android and iOS. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. I am not going to start this off by talking about how it's pay to win and all that. That has been explored by amazing channels out there. There's so many amazing channels that have covered this. I'm a fan of them. I'm a fan of their creators. I'm just a huge fan of the characters they've created. Like one of my favorite channels is Asmongold. I love him. He's just freaking hilarious. How just the start of his video to the end of his video is just this. It's just a hero's journey of madness sometimes, and his ups and downs, and he takes his chat on this massive roller coaster of emotion. I just love that. And there's a lot of other channels out there. Because he does reactions to other people's work, I tend to just watch him doing reactions on some of my other favorite YouTube channels that cover Diablo. But anyway, so they've done it. Yes, it is a microtransaction mess. But this is the trick. This is how you can play the game. And I've played the game two ways. I started out as 100% free-to-player because I wanted to stick it to NetEase and a little bit to Blizzard, let's be honest. And then I discovered something. If you approach this game with a subscriber, MMO subscriber mindset, the world's your oyster. You will have a blast. But you can have a blast as a free-to-play player. And I want to get into it because a lot of people get caught up in Diablo Immortal, and all they hear about and all they kind of just focus on is the negativity around, and rightfully so, microtransactions and all the hot garbage that NetEase has done to this game. Not a problem. And Blizzard approved it, let's be honest. They're culpable here too. They actually approved all this. So, let's park that. Let's park all that hate, the truth, to one side, and we'll just talk about how you can take advantage of NetEase and Blizzard by being a free-to-play player. Okay, let's talk about it. First of all, there's content. There's content galore in this game. So we're going to jump into it. And I'm just going to whiff over what I think is one of the things that is just truly amazing about this game. Now, I'm not going to get it all, because I'm probably going to forget a bunch of stuff, but I'm just going to give you my perspective on why, you can really, really give it to NetEase and Blizzard and take advantage of everything, because they've created a very compelling world space. They've created a place in which you can go and just invest hundreds of hours into without giving one dime to them. But perhaps you might want to. We'll get to that in a little bit. All right, there's so much content, like I said. There's 6 classes in this game. And they run the mill. Some of them they kind of feel like, they've been put through the washing machine a few times in past Diablo series. And for me, that's okay, right? You got your barbarian, your wizard, your monk, your necromancer, your demon hunter, and your crusader. So there's your class, and they all provide a different type of game style for you as a player, whether you like range combat, you like, like tanking, you like crowd control, you like, your traditional wizard, whatever you fancy. Out of the gate, you have these 6 classes you can actually go in and have a blast with. So that in itself, the replayability with the classes is pretty epic in my opinion. I think it's just awesome. Okay? So pick your poison, right? You got 6 playthroughs there. Sure, the story doesn't really change based on which class you choose, but you know what? You get a free weekly class. Once you hit max level, you get a free weekly class change that you can just test drive new classes at max level. But I would highly recommend to play each class through if you have the time and you're interested in, because you get to learn the nuances of the classes. I think the story's pretty good. I mean, it's not on par with Diablo 3, Diablo 2, but it's there. It's right in the, and let's be honest, right? Let's just be truthful, you and I, right now. Diablo stories are good, simple stories, but they're not like this epic freaking diatribe that it's not Game of Thrones here. You're not playing a Game of Thrones game here. You're playing a good versus evil game, and it's a good story, and I really enjoy it. Who doesn't like a little bit of Deckard Cain every now and then? We all do, right? The world is massive and ever growing, and we'll get to that in a bit. But there's a massive world that you can play with right now. You can go to multiple various locations. There's just so much fun to be at, and you get to go explore that at any time you want, and there's reasons to get out and explore the world. But the world itself is really, really fun and huge and diverse, which is key, right? You want your levels to look different. That's a big thing for me. And you want your levels and worlds to look different from each other, because you don't get art fatigue, if that's a common saying or what. I don't know. I don't think it is, but you don't get art fatigue, right? All right, combat. So they took Diablo 3, which has fantastic combat in my opinion, and they pretty much just did that. It feels very much like Diablo 3. And you will love this on mobile. It's a mobile, I think it was 100% developed for mobile, but because a lot of people complained, they created a PC port, and it's crossplay, so it's shared saving, the whole works. The PC version is really good. They've got really WASD controls is really good. You got your traditional mouse point and click. You can keybind, all that kind of stuff. So pick your poison, whether you want to play on PC or mobile, on your phone, whatever, go for it, right? I think right now I'm about 75% of my time, if not 80, is on mobile, on my iPad mini, and then sometimes I'll jump on the PC and play there. But the fact that they have both is great, and not a lot of games who've come out since can really accomplish that. Undecember, just talking to you there, your PC version is lacking, in my opinion. Okay, let's get into things to do to explore that massive world. Explore your classes. Have fun with the game, because that's what it's all about, right? Okay, things to do in this game. The Codex. The Codex is amazing. That's my go-to place. You get bonuses on there on your content. I love going in and messing around and just seeing what I want to play that day. Whether I want to run rifts, do I want to actually go into the sanctum, do I want to do my daily missions? it's just really a good keeper of activities. And the codex for me is something that, feels, it's the connective tissue of the game. And again, we're still talking about it. Everything here is free. You ain't paying for any of this stuff, right? So, which is really cool. So the codex, definitely. And then there's events. There's events happening almost weekly. It feels like there's, they're not like major world events where you got to go out and do a 50 quests. Sometimes they're just giving you rewards for things you're doing anyway. But it's cool. It's cool to have these events trigger because it gives you something to look forward to. It allows you to have, something different to distract you with. Maybe you weren't thinking about running dailies, but because there's an event, they give them bonuses and extra rewards, you might want to go out and run some events. And then you got the Sanctum for you, where you can spend your aspirant keys. And this is the thing I do every day. I go get my gems because this is where you go and get your gems. So aspirant keys, you can get them through various activities in the game. Plus, while you go run your Sanctum every day, you can get actual more keys while you're going there. And you can open up the chests. Of course, you can pay more to open up more chests, but this is not about that. No need to go and do that, right? Take advantage of NetEase and Blizzard in this opinion. Play as much of this as free to play as you want. And you literally can you can really spend a whole lot of time in this game. It could become your main free mobile action RPG because there's so much to do here. And there's dungeons. There's dungeons that you can run. You can do multiplayer dungeons. You can run them solo. You get different types of codex points and battle pass points to level up your battle pass. So you can do a bunch of that stuff too. So, you can do dungeons, you can do all kinds of wonderful stuff in here. And there's these legendary crests that you can get. This is where the game gets a little bit off the rails, in my opinion. Now, if you want to be an end game, totally playing the end game, you want to be in the top X% of players, you're going to have to spend money. You will probably end up spending. You can grind, but unless you have no life, no job, and you're a multi-millionaire because you don't need a job, you got everything taken care of, and you just want to grind. But if you got that much money, why don't you just buy stuff? You will find some sliver of enjoyment out of it. But if you're only playing this game to get the end game, like traditional Diablo 3s, Diablo 2s, get to potentially Diablo 4, you won't enjoy it unless you spend money, because the power creep that happens once you get to max level and you get into your Paragon system, and if you want to be the top on the server and stuff like that, you're going to need to spend money. And this is where the game is broken severely. But that's mobile games in general. You can't just criticize NetEase and Blizzard for that. That's what they were creating. They were creating a game built for whales. And like I said, there's tons of other videos that explore how they take advantage of users with that. But if you only want to play this game to level 60 and just explore Paragon just at your own pace, and you don't care about what all the whales are doing and all the elite players, and you don't want to do anything in PvP, you're going to have a fantastic time in this game. Because if they're going to keep adding new classes. Now, there's the Battle Pass, right? So there's a free track in the Battle Pass. Is it as compelling as the paid version? No, it's not. But there is a free version there, so you can grind it out and you can get rewards, which is really cool. And that's how that's the carrots they put there, right? They'll show you the free, and it's like, you're getting this, but it's kind of like, it's that, that old DeSoto car there just sitting there, right? It's a, but if you want this Ferrari, you pay us $5-10 a month, right? And that's where I get into the decision point you need to make as a user. Do you want to be free to play only? Then you're fine. If you don't want the latest cosmetics, or you don't mind the grind, you'll be fine. But if you want to get the cosmetics, you want a little bit of extra health, if you treat this game as a subscriber game, a sub game like in an MMO, and you buy a battle pass every 6 weeks, you'll get a lot of stuff. You'll get a lot of extra help. And it's pretty cool. If you treat it that way, that's what I eventually did. I'm going to look at the battle pass and I'm going to say, is it compelling enough for me? And I will buy the battle pass every 6 weeks. And for me, I treat it as a subscriber game, as a sub game. And I'm having a blast with that, which is really cool. Another thing you should think about is, as a free-to-play player, is the game dead? We'll get into kind of what I think is really cool about this game. It's brand new, so the answer to the question, is the game dead? You can't really answer that. It's not failed. It's, I think, at over 30 million downloads. It's making boatloads of money for NetEase and Blizzard. And you know what? I must say I've not contributed a whole lot to that. I bought 2 Battle Pass so far, so that's $40 Canadian. So for me, though, I've spent probably 150 hours in the game. So I have my... This is something I do. It's called my movie ticket to entertainment value proposition. If I go to a movie in Canada, I get a drink, a popcorn, and the ticket. It's usually about $25, because if you go on Cheap Tuesdays or whatever, I don't know if they have that in your part of the world. So it's $20, and that movie's 2 hours, for example. So let's say $20 for 2 hours of entertainment. All right, I've gotten over 100 hours of really fun entertainment, and I kid you not, I shit you not, and I don't swear very often. So let's say I'll be very conservative, 100 hours, right? I've gotten so much entertainment for my $40. It's crazy. And I'm continually playing it. And because why I'm complaining, the game is not dead, and they're updating it. Let's talk about their update cadence. Like almost every 2 weeks, they're fixing bugs, they're adding something, events. They're doing some small updates around there. They're adding maybe a new quest line. You know, they're adding bits of content. And then they are going to add new classes and new zones, which is coming up in December of 2022. They're adding a new class, apparently. This is all rumors, and a new zone. So they're updating the game. It's all free. So I'll get another class to explore for free and have fun in the world. Explore new quests, new events, new zones. That's a pretty good value proposition for me. Again, I am sticking it to NetEase. I'm sticking it to Blizzard. Sure, someone will say, well, Pete, you know what? You gave them $40. Yeah, but I haven't given them 1,000. I haven't given them 10,000. I haven't given them 100,000. I don't have that money. But people have, which I do feel kind of, that's the sick part of this whole thing. But treat it as a free-to-play game, which you potentially might buy a sub every 6 months for $20. You will have a blast. Do not lose out on this game, because it's there for you to play free. It's there for you to have fun. There's value in this game as a free-to-play player, and I don't feel people talk about that enough. And because I'm a huge Diablo fan, I just had to say something. I just did. And like, who gives a shit what I say, right? Who really gives a crap what I say? Well, I give a crap what I say, and I do this in YouTube because I want people to have fun with games. I don't want them to ignore games that deserve your time and have some fun. And that's how I feel about Diablo Immortal. I mean, what will happen with this game when Diablo 4 comes out? That's another question. Am I looking forward to Diablo 4? Absolutely. Am I having fun and loving Diablo Immortal right now? Heck yeah. Give it a try. It's free. Anyway, that's my talk. I want to thank all the YouTubers out there that do videos on Diablo Immortal and Diablo games in general. I love what you do. You guys are obviously, and gals are very passionate about this. And I just appreciate it. I love watching your content. Thanks, everybody. Oh, yeah. If you feel like subscribing, throwing the little guy a little sub, go for it, man. I appreciate it. Otherwise, I'm just glad you're watching. Get in the comments, too. Bye.